Hey everybody, Zeidoktor here with Typical Manga Fan, and one last post-Golden Week manga chapter to review is going to be Attack on Titan, Chapter 81, Promise. And we're picking out more or less right where we left off with the last valiant charge of Erwin and the Survey Corps against the Bestial Titan. We're seeing guys go down. Looks like right here at the very beginning. Are we seeing Erwin go down?
Yeah, actually, he does.
Yep. Yeah, because they all say the commander, and they all recognize it's him. I didn't on those first couple of pages, do we actually see it happening? But yeah, we do obviously.
Yeah. First off, I want to say that it's really weird that we call him the Bestial Titan, like that's the translation, because it just sounds so weird. You know, I like Beast Titan or Ape Titan better.
Yeah, we can go either way on that. I mean, I try to be a stickler for the official translations personally, so that's just why I do it.
It's just really weird name, you know. Yeah. So basically, we have the Beast Titan talking, having inner monologue, basically.
Yeah.
And talking about how like the king took away their memories, and therefore they are doomed to repeat the same mistakes over and over again, and that that this is leading them to that suicide charge, thinking that they're gonna do some type of justice. And he gets angry, and it's interesting he got angry because he says, "Wait, what am I getting angry for? I'm not my You're not like your father." Remember? So it seems like his father was like the type of person who kind of did get angry over this stuff.
My honest first thought here actually was like maybe he's like the son of Rice. I mean, how long can a Titan shifter die of old age?
Oh well, it depends. It's how long they spend in their Titan form. If they spend their Titan, the amount of time they spend in their Titan form, they kind of like are in like stasis, I think.
Well, this guy seems to like his Titan form a lot, so it could go away. It could be a possibility.
Well, when you say Rice, do you think he's like the son of the original Rice?
I'm wondering about that. Yeah.
Or do you think he's the brother of Grisha?
Maybe. I don't think that's too likely though. I mean, unless Grisha had something with his father too that I'm not remembering.
Well, he's a chieftain. I think isn't he like the chieftain of his of the warriors or something like that?
I remember they called him War Chief. So yeah.
Yeah, it's something like that. Yeah. Okay, so basically he's like, oh well, need to find enjoyment in life, and so he basically gets all happy about killing them all, and throws like rocks at them, and then you actually go to this. I forgot his name, but the guy who helped out the Survey Corps, and he was from the military police.
Yep.
And he had like a friendship with this girl who Hitch, who I think kind of people like imply that actually kind of liked him. And well, he thinks to himself, I wonder what Hitch is up to. I bet she's still asleep, which is kind of sad, and must be nice. I don't get it. Why is this coming to mind at a time like this? And then he dies. He gets shot in the eye.
Takes a plot to the head.
And so so it's kind of sad because that's actually the biggest death, one of the biggest deaths in this chapter, because we kind of got to know him. He kind of like he kind of was like a big fan of the Survey Corps, and then he kind of like went against the military police. Like he was he helped out, and then we had this relationship with his friend, so we got to see their dynamics. So it does feel like a loss.
Yeah. Yep.
But it was kind of happening because when I saw him in the crowd for the suicide, I was like, okay, yeah.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the Bestial Titan is like acting like a little kid, really.
Basically, I mean, I think that's kind of like a response to the fact that he basically might have daddy issues.
Yeah, that's a little annoying, but we'll see how it goes here. But anyway,
because I know what you think about those.
Yeah, well, at the very least, like when it's like some kind of big villain doing all this horrible stuff because of that. But in any case, we see the remaining members of the Survey Corps just rushing forward. Like they keep firing just flare guns. Like, well, he's wondering if he thinks those toys are really going to be doing any effect to him. Like, do you really think all that screaming is going to do you any good? He does another big bats at him, takes him out. But then he realizes like that all of his Titans have been beaten, and that's when he starts seeing. That's when Levy starts to come in for the charge.
And well, we have a bit of a shitload of
Well, before we go any further on this,
battle montage.
Yeah, before we do any of that though, there's a flashback here of Reiner and Bertold specifically warning Zeke about Levy. Levy specifically.
Actually, I was just about to get to that because I was actually only describing the chapter before.
Oh, like where he's like kind of like swirling.
He does like
arm.
he swirls around or something like that. He like I don't know what he does. He just cuts the arm, right?
Well, the next page shows he like hacked it into pieces.
Okay, yeah. Oh, it's a delay. Okay, so there's a bit of a flashback saying like Reiner and Bolt are basically warning Zeke about Levi, and then he's like, oh, so that's it. And then so the hands are cut. Like at this point, he's lost his arms, and one of his arms, one of his arms. So just the left arm, and he's using the right arm to protect his nape.
Yep. Of course, that's a mistake because Lovey just uses that as a chance to go for the eyes.
Yeah, I feel like didn't they do that with Annie?
I forget.
They cut her eyes, and they hit her arms to the point where she couldn't hold them anymore. So hold the nape anymore. But she just used the mouth. So anyway, he can't see anything, and then he got his leg. Levi got his legs.
Yep.
And before he gets Zeke gets a chance to harden his skin, Levi basically cuts his right arm even more, and Zeke feels a lot of pain.
Yep.
Levi's really pissed off, by the way.
Yep.
And then Zeke has to come out in a lot of steam, by the way. And then Levi just shoves his sword into like his mouth, and it basically saying like, look, you can't transform while you're healing.
Yep.
And he actually shoves the sword through his
face.
cheek.
Yeah.
Is it through the eye, or is it?
It's like in the mouth, out the eye, through the face.
How is he not dead?
Titan is like.
Oh yeah, true.
And was like thinking to himself that he can't kill him yet. Like he's thinking to himself like, if there's anybody out there still alive or even just dying, he can give them the Titan serum and have them eat that guy.
Yeah, but unfortunately, the was it the horse Titan? I don't know what they call him.
I think I was just on a wiki for that. They call him the quadruped Titan. I still like to call him the pack mule Titan.
Okay, yeah. Well, then this guy actually is also supposed to be controlled by another person, so he actually grabs Zeke and runs away.
Yep.
And then Zeke's like, well, kill him, and he basically makes all the Titans look at Levi and attack. So let's see. And then he basically says, I'll have wiped you out, and it was a pretty close fight, but we win.
Yep.
And then Levi just gets really more pissed off, and remembers what he swore to Erwin, and attacks. And then we get back to one guy far out, in the outskirts, who is still alive from that suicide charge. Do you remember who that guy is?
I don't know if we have a name for him, but isn't he like the one that was like panicking before?
Yep, he is. This is basically one of those instances where they show you, like, sometimes it's the coward who gets out.
And not even because he was being cowardly either.
He disappeared actually.
He's in the middle of the battlefield though, so it's not like he was like hiding.
Yeah. I think let me see what happened. So he had fallen off his horse like the moment before, I think. Okay.
But even still, that's not him being cowardly. That's just him having.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's just, but at the same time, it's just like I think it's just showing you of all those people who could have survived, it had to be him,
Yeah. Then after we leave him wondering if anyone else is even still alive, to go back to the other half of the side of the wall, where we see Reiner and Bertold back up and running again. They're running what the hell they have to do to kill Reiner for good. Yeah, Reiner. And
they then Armin actually notices something, and that is that the Colossus Titan, I guess because I read it. It's weird that it's Colossal, whatever. He's actually getting thinner, and that's because that he doesn't have much endurance. He can, basically that when he thinks back to when the experiment with Eren and Hanji, where Eren couldn't transform more than 3 times, and basically the 3rd time he couldn't even harden and wasn't able to, and after that he couldn't even use his abilities effectively. So he's like, well, if you think that's the case for a 15 meter Titan, think about a 60 meter Titan, And I think this actually goes back to what my thought was like the Colossal Titan puts all of his energy into just his size, so he can't really sustain all the other stuff. Such as the heat, because he uses steam as a main form of attack, as well as his huge body. And so basically, it even says it. He had to consume all the flesh of his body to create that heat. All that's left was his bones. And he won't be able to move once he loses his muscle fibers, so he'll be nothing more than a giant skeleton. So we were basically right. Like, he puts all that energy into his size, and he says, "Okay, well, I have a plan. So he tells Mikasa John to lure Reiner away, and then Eren and Armin will defeat the Colossal Titan. And then everyone's like happy that Armin's finally got it together. And then Armin thinks back to about Eren feeling like he got his freedom back and strength back, and says, if this plan, and thinks to himself, if this plan works, I guess I'll never get a chance to see the ocean. Why does he say that? Because he's doing a suicide charge or something?
I think he's expecting not to survive whatever's going to come next.
Yeah, that's one thing. Like, is this some type of suicide attack? Because he says he's going to help Eren get back up. So I don't know. So he's like, why is it that when I think about the outside world, I feel courage welling up inside of me? And then he actually he stabs Eren's Titan, and basically it's kind of like the same thing he did with back when Eren was out of control in early on, and he's like, we're going to see the ocean, and then you slowly see Eren waking up, and it says, just one more time, stand Eren. Yeah, I really like. If Reiner and Bertolt survive this fight, I really wonder how they're gonna be used. Like, they would have to be. They'd have to become allies or something. But then wouldn't that go against Bertolt's determination? Because he was determined to kill him.
Yeah, but then again, if they're left behind by Zeke, that might change things a bit.
Yeah, too. Maybe you can say he could redirect his determination to something else. That's fine, I guess. So I don't know. What I guess at this point, since Armin's the tactician, I mean, has he ever gotten anything wrong?
Not seriously wrong, I don't think, or at least, I mean, he's not perfect. I can't think of anything specific, but I'm sure there's been the kind of way to get everything exactly right.
I think the flaw is that he doesn't always have the confidence to be able to build up a plan, and he may not always find a quick plan, but I think once he formulates a plan, it actually works out pretty well.
Like, you can't really think of it on the fly, so to speak. Like that's why, like, John can do the tactics, but he does the strategy.
Yes. So yeah, I mean, at this point we have basically. Well, listen. So let's go back to the Beast Titan, right? So we have Levi basically attacking the little minions that the Beast Titan has.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Beast Titan is probably down for the count for now.
Yeah, he's not. He's dealt with for the moment. He's running. Unless
he might come back up at
unless Levi can get to him somehow.
Well, here's what I think might happen. So I think what's going to happen is that Reiner and Broto can be defeated, and then right when Eren achieves victory, I think maybe the Zeke will come back and like transform and like steal him or something.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, I don't know.
It depends on how fast he heals.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this guy is like he's like the most powerful Titan we've seen so far, right?
Yeah.
So he might heal fast.
And I don't know. At the same time, he went down a lot easier than Reiner and Bertolt have. I mean, granted,
but they didn't go against Levi.
Yeah, true.
And to be fair, they kind of sacrificed a lot just to get that opportunity.
True. Yeah, you're right.
Levi reminds me of he's like the good version of Arma from Tokyo Ghoul.
Yeah.
He's like really powerful and it really hasn't been defeated yet.
Hmm.
That probably will change eventually, though. But what I like about this is that unlike Arma, who you feel like has no limits whatsoever except for like one thing,
like Levi's still human.
Levi's human, yeah. He you can beat him. It's just you can't beat him one-on-one, which is a fine thing. It's fine. And then we have this thing where Armin's gonna be like, he's basically he thinks he's gonna die.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think he's gonna die?
Who, Armin?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. It's hard to say. Like, him, Mikasa, and Eren are kind of like the big three, so they're the ones I would think would be into the least danger in terms of plot armor. But at the same time, killing one of them could have some serious effects on the others. So it could go either way, but I'm in favor of Armin surviving somehow.
Okay, yeah, same here. I think the major loss from this is on Hans. I mean, it's not really. I'm just kidding. Well, I mean, for me it's Hans, but Erwin is obviously the biggest major loss. He went down first. He's like 300. He's like 300. Well, not 300. The true story of 300.
Yeah.
Where King Leonidas is actually the one of the first to fall. So we have that. Yeah, he got shot through the left torso.
Mm-hmm.
On the left side of his torso, so he actually might be still alive.
Erwin, you mean?
Yeah, he might still be alive.
It's possible. I mean, it depends. I mean, because I know that Levi was seriously considering giving him the Titan serum. He's the one he would have wanted to do it for.
Yeah, But I mean, I feel like, but that's the thing though. I feel like Attack on Titan doesn't make those predictions like come true. It makes it like the sometimes unpredictable. Like those types of plans don't always come to fruition.
Yeah.
That's why I figured.
That's why I'm thinking if anybody's going to get it, if it's not Levy himself, it's going to be the recruit guy.
But why would he get it?
Because he's there and alive.
Okay, yeah, but why wouldn't Levi just do it himself? Why would you give that much power to someone you don't really trust?
It may be a matter of not having a choice.
I feel like if he had the opportunity to give it to him, I feel like there'd be more opportunity to give it to himself. I don't know.
Maybe, but I mean, it's hard to say. Cause, like, what if he can't get himself in the position to get the Zeke by himself? Like, he has to take a chance on this guy being able to lure this guy to him.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that there's so much power you're giving to him. Like that's a little.
Yeah.
Because you basically, and if he eats Zeke, he basically gets Zeke's memories.
Mm-hmm.
And who knows? And I just realized that what is it possible for the effect of the rice effect to basically be the same for other people too? Like maybe Zeke's will is so strong he actually like basically possesses the new body.
That's actually a good question on there. Like that would probably be an even bigger reason for it to be Levy or Irwin to do it, because they could at least maybe fight him more.
Maybe actually the opposite. Maybe Levi does get possessed, and you basically have the smartest person because Zeke is considered like the smartest person in the series.
Yeah.
By the stats book, and then he's in the body of Levi, but because he also has Levi's memories, he'd have Levi's skills. So you have the smartest person and the strongest person together in one body.
Yep.
As a Titan too. That's insane. That actually might be a danger. Actually, I'd like to have that type of danger come up.
Yeah, like the risk of like a new Titan shifter getting possessed by their memories.
Yeah. I mean, that's basically what happens with the Rice family. So I assume.
Of course, that hasn't happened to Eren yet, so there might be some other factor involved in that.
Well, that's because because Eren doesn't have all the memories. Remember, they're unlocked. They can't be unlocked because he's not a Rice member.
True.
That was why they wanted to give it to Historia, because she was a Rice member and therefore she would have gotten possessed had she done that.
Okay, it's like the bloodline makes it a smoother transition.
Basically, like because Eren is not part of the bloodline, he cannot unlock a lot of the memories, and he cannot unlock a lot of the abilities. So something along those lines. All right.
Yeah, so I said it's a kind of a quickie one here, but we're about ready to call that. Is there anything else in the chapter you wanted to bring up? Because I think you covered everything I can think of.
I'm actually curious to see how Hitch will take it when she finds out that her little friend / crush died.
Yeah, that's gonna be a tough one to see when we get up there.
Well,
but assuming
because it
go ahead.
Oh, it's just because it just shows that she was right. That whole talk about bravery and all that stuff and helping out. Like, how does that look to her? How does it look to everyone else?
True.
I mean, probably. The thing is, he probably did die for a very. He did die for a noble cause, but like he probably did die, and his death probably did have meaning. But to her, she probably doesn't care.
Yeah.
It won't matter exactly.
Yeah. If we see the survivors go home, well, I guess we'll get to see that scene at that point. But until then, we got what we have here.
Yeah.
All right. So that's been our review of Attack on Titan, Chapter 81. Promise. Go ahead and take us away.
Bye.